Hey there. Early birds and night owls, ever wished you could unlock a few extra hours of productivity in your day?
Hmm.
We're diving into Robin Sharma's The 5 a.m. Club to see if his famous morning routine lives up to the hype.
Okay.
Could setting that alarm a little earlier really be the secret to unlocking some serious potential?
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Yeah,
So you know this book, The 5 a.m. Club. It's really taken off.
it really has.
Why do you think so many people are drawn to this idea of a 5 a.m. wake up?
I think there's something intriguing about, you know, gaining an edge by starting your day differently.
Totally.
Yeah.
And Sharma's big idea is that waking up at 5 a.m. isn't just about, getting a head start on your to-do list.
Right.
It's about tapping into a mental state that most of us sleep right through.
Yeah.
He compares our mental energy to cognitive bandwidth, like that limited internet package you're always trying to stretch.
Yeah.
And it gets used up throughout the day.
And just like you don't want to stream a movie during peak hours and risk buffering, Sharma argues that those early morning hours are when your cognitive bandwidth is at its strongest.
Okay.
You're rested, the world is quiet, and you haven't yet been bombarded with decisions, emails, and all those little stressors that drain your mental energy.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But why 5 a.m. specifically?
Yeah.
Why not 6 a.m. or even 7 a.m.? What's so magical about that pre-dawn hour?
Well, get this, scientists have actually discovered something called transient hypofrontality that happens in those very early hours.
Okay.
Basically, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for overthinking and self-critique, is a little less active.
Wait, less active. Is that a good thing?
You bet it is. Think of it this way. Your inner critic is still asleep at 5 a.m., so you're free to be your most creative and ambitious self. That's why lots of artists and writers swear by those early morning hours they're bursting with new ideas before their inner critic wakes up and starts shutting them down.
So I'm picturing my 5 a.m. brain firing on all cylinders, full of creative energy and ready to tackle the day.
It's exactly.
I have to admit, it's a pretty tempting image.
It's about gaining a competitive edge. Sharma talks about how those early hours are like entering a state of flow. You're focused, productive, and less likely to get bogged down by self-doubt.
All right, I'm starting to see the appeal here. But let's say we actually manage to drag ourselves out of bed at the crack of dawn. What are we supposed to do with this newfound mental clarity and focus?
That's where Sharma's 20-20-20 formula comes in. It's not enough to just be awake at 5 a.m. You have to use that first hour strategically. He breaks it down into 3 20-minute blocks. Move, reflect, and grow. We'll start with move, and yes, that means 20 minutes of intense exercise first thing in the morning.
Okay, I'm already anticipating some groans from our listeners who aren't exactly morning workout enthusiasts.
Yeah.
But before we write off the 5 a.m. workout, let's hear why Sharma thinks it's so crucial. What's the science behind breaking a sweat before the sun's even up?
Well, it's not just about, getting your blood pumping. Exercise, especially in the morning, has a remarkable effect on your brain chemistry.
Okay, I'm all ears. Give me the brain science.
Here's the thing. Intense exercise reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that can really sabotage your focus and productivity. At the same time, it boosts something called BDNF, a protein that's like fertilizer for your brain cells.
BDNF. Hold on, let me write that down. Sounds important. What does BDNF actually do?
It helps your brain build new connections, making it easier to learn and remember things. You know how some days you feel mentally sharp and other days your brain feels foggy? BDNF is like clearing out that brain fog and making you a learning machine.
So that morning workout isn't just good for my body, it's like a superpower for my brain. Sign me up.
Yeah.
All right, what's next in the 20-20-20 lineup? We've moved our bodies now, what?
Time to move your mind inward. 20 minutes of reflection. This could be meditation, journaling, or even just some quiet contemplation. It's about giving your mind a chance to breathe before the day's demands take over.
I love that. In our fast-paced world, we rarely hit the pause button. I can see how taking even 20 minutes to just be could be a game changer. What are the benefits of incorporating reflection into our morning routine?
It's not just about relaxation, although that's a nice bonus. Reflection allows your brain to process everything, solidify learning, and make new connections. It's also a chance to connect with your own thoughts and feelings before the day's distractions take over. Think of it as creating a foundation of calm and focus that you can carry with you throughout the day.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, we've moved our bodies, we've reflected. Bring on the final 20 minutes of the 20-20-20 formula.
The last 20 minutes are all about growth, intentional learning. This is your time to feed your mind with something inspiring, educational, or thought-provoking.
All right, listeners, this is where I come alive. Podcasts, books, online courses, even just diving into an interesting article. Anything that sparks your curiosity and gets those synapses firing, What are your thoughts on this grow phase?
It's all about making it a consistent habit. Imagine the knowledge and skills you could accumulate by dedicating just 20 minutes every morning to expanding your mind. Over a year, that's 120 hours of dedicated learning. What could you achieve with that kind of focused effort?
It's like the power of compounding, but for your brain. Small, consistent actions leading to huge results over time. Now, this all sounds amazing, but I have to ask, what about sleep? Isn't sacrificing precious sleep for a 5 a.m. wake-up counterproductive?
That's a common concern, and Sharma actually dedicates a whole section of the book to emphasizing that this isn't about getting less sleep, it's about optimizing your entire sleep-wake cycle.
So quality over quantity when it comes to sleep. But in our always-on world, how do we actually achieve that kind of quality sleep? I'm sure I'm not alone in my late-night scrolling sessions.
You and just about everyone else, that's precisely the problem. Sharma highlights the damaging effects of technology on our sleep, especially that blue light emitted from our phones and laptops. It's like kryptonite for our sleep hormones.
Okay, tell us more about this blue light sabotage. What's the science behind it? Okay, tell us more about this blue light sabotage. What's the science behind it?
Well, that blue light actually suppresses the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle. It's like telling your brain it's still daytime, even when it's time to wind down for the night.
So those late-night Instagram scrolls are basically tricking my brain into thinking it's time for a sunrise jog instead of sleep. No wonder I wake up feeling groggy.
Exactly. Sharma recommends a digital detox in the hours leading up to bedtime. Put away the phones, step away from the screens, and let your brain naturally produce the melatonin it needs for restful sleep.
It's like a lullaby for our brains.
Yeah.
So we're prioritizing sleep, waking up early, crushing our workouts, reflecting A&E learning.
A lot.
I imagine burnout is a real risk if we're not careful about balancing all this productivity with proper rest.
You're right. It's all about finding a sustainable rhythm. That's why Sharma introduces the concept of the twin cycle of elite performance. It's about balancing periods of intense work with deliberate periods of rest and recovery.
So it's not about pushing yourself to the limit every single day. It's about finding a pace you can sustain so you don't burn out.
Precisely. Think of it like training for a marathon. You wouldn't sprint every day. You need rest days to allow your body to recover and rebuild. The same principle applies to our mental energy.
Okay, I'm getting the picture. This is resonating with me on a personal level, I must say. Now, there's one more thing I wanted to touch on. Sharma talks about history makers, those individuals who achieve remarkable things. What sets them apart? Is it just a 5 a.m. wake-up call?
It's a piece of the puzzle, but it goes deeper than that. Sharma outlines 4 key areas of focus that these high achievers have in common: capitalizing on your talents, eliminating distractions, embracing the power of day stacking, and committing to personal mastery.
Okay, break it down for us. What do those 4 areas look like in practice?
It starts with understanding your unique strengths and talents. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus your energy on maximizing what you're naturally good at.
Love that. Focus on your own lane and rock it. What about eliminating distractions? That's something I think we can all relate to, especially in our hyper-connected world.
Absolutely. It's about being intentional with your time and attention. Identify those distractions that pull you away from your goals and ruthlessly eliminate them, whether it's social media, email, or even negative self-talk.
It's like clearing the weeds so your garden can flourish. Okay, what about day stacking? That's a new one.
It's all about the power of consistency. It's not about making massive overnight changes. It's about stacking small daily wins on top of each other.
The compound effect in action. Small actions, consistent effort, remarkable results. And lastly, personal mastery. What does that entail?
It's about having a growth mindset. Commit to lifelong learning. Always seek ways to expand your skills and knowledge and never stop evolving as a person.
This has been an incredible deep dive. It's not just about waking up at 5 a.m. It's about designing a life where you can maximize your potential life, prioritize your well-being, and make a meaningful impact, all while getting a good night's sleep.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's about creating a life you don't need to escape from.
If you could dedicate just 1 hour each morning to your own personal and professional growth, what impact could that have in your life a year from now? It's something to ponder as you go about your day. Big thanks to Robin Sharma for the insightful read, and to you, dear listeners, for joining us on this deep dive into the 5 a.m. Club. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing your own boundaries.